Welcome everyone to the National Museum of Modern and Contemporary Art, Deoksugung. The exhibition you will see today is entitled Korean Embroidery in Modern Times, The Birds Trying to Catch the Sun. Let's follow the story of Korean modern embroidery, which weaves together tradition and innovation. Korean embroidery has a 2,000-year history. Through exchanges with East Asian countries, it has shown unique and beautiful cultures. However, due to the fragility of the materials, most of the traditional embroidery that remains today dates from the late 19th to the early 20th century. This exhibition highlights multi-layered practices of embroidery beyond the kyubang craft, which is usually thought that only women produced and enjoyed embroidery during the Joseon dynasty, or a traditional craft of women passed down through generations. Since the modern era, these practices have been largely overlooked by art history. We would like to introduce you to lesser-known development of Korean embroidery in modern times. Artistry woven, a needle perfected through 100 refinements. Gallery 1. We introduce various forms of traditional embroidery, including embroidery that decorates everyday items and garments, as well as embroidered folding screens and scrolls intended for appreciation. The embroidery of Joseon dynasty varies greatly depending on the maker. Royal embroidery produced by female artisans in the palace, crafted with expensive materials and the finest techniques, reveals their noble elegance. On the other hand, folk embroidery created by women from the general public is characterized by free-spirited compositions and strong primary colors contrasts. You can discover the difference in the gallery. During the Joseon dynasty, luxury was generally regarded negatively in accordance with Confucian philosophy. Embroidery, which required expensive materials and exquisite labor, was one of the symbols of luxury. Thus, using and appreciating embroidery was not possible for everyone. However, with the development of commercial culture in the 19th century, anyone with financial means, regardless of class, could use things decorated with embroidery. As demand increased, so did the activities of craft groups specialized in embroidery. After the opening of the ports, embroidery reached a turning point as it encountered a brand new concept of craft which did not exist in traditional society. During this period, embroidery was regarded as an industry in modern civilized countries and was even exhibited at the World's Fair. Embroidery looking like a painting. Gallery 2. During the modernization period, embroidery gained attention as a core component of women's education, and its practices moved into the public sphere. Let's look around about the changes in embroidery as an artistic craft. In modern times, the objective of women's education was to train women to become good wives and wise mothers at home, and desirable members of the nation. Embroidery was regarded one of the key subjects in women's education and labor during this time. Many women went to Japan and majored in embroidery. Students who learned new embroidery techniques at the Women's Academy of Fine Arts, now Joshibi University of Art and Design in Tokyo, introduced modernized embroidery techniques and designs to Korea, which was entirely different from traditional ones. Joshibi graduates contributed to improving the status of women by spreading new embroidery techniques, helping women achieve economic independence, and participating in social activities. A universe woven in embroidered tapestry. Gallery 3. Here, we explore diverse practices of embroidery, particularly abstract ones, since the liberation from the Japanese colonization. Most of the embroiderers were Joshibi graduates from the embroidery department of Ewha Women's University, which was the first and only department established at an art college and those who had their apprenticeship outside an academy. After World War II, abstract art emerged as a global contemporary visual language. Korean embroidery embraced this new expressive language, continuing the experiments without being confined by traditional materials, techniques, and designs. Despite these explorations and abstraction, embroidery was still perceived as a medium that consumed materials and time, necessitating modernization to overcome limitations. Notably, in 1981, the integration of the embroidery department at Ewha Women's University into textile arts marked a significant transition to postmodern art, where the boundaries between genres became blurred. This shift suggested that embroidery could no longer sustain its previous robust and autonomous position within the artistic milieu. The modernization of traditional beauty. In the last galleries, the exhibition shows how embroidery experienced a notable resurgence beyond academy as an industrial craft and cottage industry crucial to the nation's modernization and industrialization during the period of national development. Additionally, it garnered acknowledgement as a traditional craft deserving preservation and succession. After the Korean War, the government promoted traditional crafts, including embroidery. It was considered a special product connected to the local economy and a tourism product representing the national identity. Traditional embroidery, which had lost continuity since the Japanese colonial period, began to revive in the mid-1960s. As research and exhibitions on traditional embroidery started in earnest, there have been significant shift in embroidery world. In 1984, an embroidery master was designated as a national intangible cultural asset. The succession and modernization of traditional embroidery has continued up to this day. In modern times, Korean embroidery has challenged lots of boundaries, such as those between art and craft, East and West, abstract and realistic, male and female, public and private, and so on. Through embroidery as an external discourse, we hope this exhibition seeks to reframe the prevailing narratives, traditionally centered on fine art, and offer fresh perspectives and insights. The exhibition Korean Embroidery in Modern Times, Birds Trying to Catch the Sun, runs from May 1st until August 4th at the National Museum of Modern and Contemporary Art, Deoksugung. We hope you visit and enjoy the marvelous works on display.